Wake up!
Get up
You get out of bed this instant.
and turn it on. Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman. The Big Show on Kiss 92.
All right, of course, we're live on Kiss 92. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook right now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. The cast of Hamilton, David Park, Jason Arrow, and Akina Edmonds.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Thank you so much for waking up this early. No, it's nothing, is it?
Very easy.
Yeah.
You guys,
Welcome to Singapore.
yes.
Thank you.
You guys
Great.
are here for a 12-hour whirlwind press junket then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And news just broke 2 hours ago.
It just broke.
Yeah.
It just broke.
Hamilton will be playing here in Singapore next April.
April 19th.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, it's broken. Oh,
my God!
you did not?
Please do it for the next 12 hours.
Okay.
Okay, just to let you guys know that before we go into the interview proper, we want you to take note of this. baseasia.com/HamiltonSG, a chance for you to be on the wait list.
That's
All
right.
right.
That's how confident they are that these tickets are going to sell out.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
All right, and this will be from 10 a.m.
Today.
All right, so make sure you act real
Straight on
fast.
it.
Yeah, make sure
Yes.
you got to camp
Get
on the
in
website
there.
for the next 2 hours. All right, so welcome to Singapore. For some of you, it's the first time. Should we get an introduction from each of you to
Yeah,
start?
for sure. My name's Jason Arrow. I play Alexander Hamilton in Hamilton. It is
big
my
role.
small part. It's actually my second time in Singapore. The last time I was here was 2019. I was doing Aladdin.
Oh, right.
Were you Aladdin?
You
I
were
was not Aladdin.
Okay.
No.
Who
I was
were
in
you?
the ensemble at that point, and I was
Okay.
covering Aladdin. So I was like an understudy.
Nice.
So I was here for quite a
In
while.
a quick 4 years, you're now the lead character in a musical.
Yeah, well, it was a longer 4 years than that because of COVID, but yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was
long 4
a long
years.
4 years. No,
Right.
but it's good to be back. Like it's, I'm really looking forward to it. I felt like it was weird, like getting in here. I was like, okay, so over there is where the theater's gonna be, and like I showed everyone like I live here. Like it's just, like very proud of being here, but it's nice to be back.
Akina?
Hi, I'm Akina Edmonds. I play Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton. I'm from New Zealand.
In case there's any doubt.
But no, I do live in Australia. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here. It's so lush. Everything is so clean. I feel like I've underdressed. It's so beautiful. It's just like, wow. Yeah, I'm really excited to
Especially
be
at the airport.
here. Yeah.
But that's the beauty of Singapore. You can dress down. You'll have people in flip-flops, and you'll have someone in a suit or in a gown. You
or
know,
like a flip-flops and a suit.
also happens.
That works too.
Yeah.
Singapore combo. Yeah.
A gown suit.
And Akina, you were on The Voice, Australia.
I was, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I read about it. Maybe that's why I made that mistake. So
It's your fault.
Akina was laughing a little bit because, before we went on air, I asked her which part of Australia she's from.
And
And of course, she's from New Zealand.
No,
Okay,
no,
all right.
you're off the hook, promise.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you won the Voice Australia. That's so cool. I just found out Jason's name today. I'm
David, are you awake? Good morning.
I'm so sorry.
Wow, I'm very gullible.
I am a clown. Don't believe anything I say. Hi, I'm David Park, and I play Marquis De Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson.
What's it like playing two roles, though?
Double the fun, double the pleasure.
You've done some TV as well, David.
A little bit.
You on Madam Secretary?
I was on Madam Secretary. I did Elementary. I did a thing on Netflix. I did a movie with M. Night Shyamalan, but he cut me. It's okay. I still love you, M.
That was Glass.
Okay, it's okay.
That was on Glass, right?
Yeah, it was on Glass. Oh, I got paid.
That's all that
Don't worry
matters.
about me. I'll get my money.
It was just the preview. It was a bit like.
Don't worry about
I
it.
see.
The credit is still on.
It still works. That still
If
works.
it's on IMDb, it's all good.
Actually, speaking of credits, all of you have a bunch of accolades under your belt. When they sent us all of your write-ups, it is very impressive to see how much you guys have been hustling, and I'm sure through COVID that was really difficult. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? No. Okay, we'll skip David. But then, yes, I'm kidding. Please share.
Wait, hold on. You know what? Let's go on the Big Show TV and talk about this a little bit more, all right? Meantime, here's Louis Capaldi. Wish you the best on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place.
Okay, so
Nice.
now we're just visual, not on air.
Cool.
Oh, we're still live. We're
that's
still
cool.
live.
Yeah.
This is my first like radio interview. Like I've never like done this before. This is
Oh, okay.
Most radio interviews don't have visuals.
Yeah.
But we have it for the hour
But here at
for our
Kiss 92
special guest.
FM,
Everything.
we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube.
Exactly.
First radio
Numbers.
station to break the news about
Yeah.
Hamilton
That's
coming to
really
Singapore as well.
No.
That's cool.
But you know, can I just ask you guys? So Alexander Hamilton, right? I mean, for people outside of the U.S., you know, they may not know who Alexander Hamilton is,
we're outside
and
the US.
well,
That's to your point. Very good. Did you guys
Yeah.
know the
you
history or the history of Alexander Hamilton before you joined? Besides the musical, did you know anything about that part of history, American history?
I mean, you know, we know a bit in Australia / New Zealand. Like, we know a bit. So obviously, thanks. We know as much as is in cinema, and you know, I mean, American history is pretty prevalent throughout the world in terms of like what's happened there. Didn't know who Alexander Hamilton was though specifically, but I think a lot of Americans didn't know who Alexander Hamilton
Yeah.
was. So
Correct.
if you would like to embellish upon that,
So tell us, yeah.
The only reference to Alexander Hamilton that I had before the show, one, he was obviously on a $10 bill, but honestly, I didn't even really know that before the.
We're just finding that out now.
Because we talk about the Benjamins, okay? Only
Yeah.
hundreds. No, but here's a funny story. There was a commercial. I think it was like a Reese's commercial. Reese's the candy, like the
yeah.
peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
And the premise of the commercial was like this guy works in a museum and there's a big painting of the duel between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. And the person on the radio interview like shouts out the question, "Hey, call in if you know the answer. Who shot Alexander Hamilton?" And this guy had just put a big spoon of peanut butter in his mouth. So he was like, "Aaron Burr! Aaron Burr!" So that's the only thing I know about Hamilton.
The Reese's commercial.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So maybe Jason, since you play Alexander Hamilton,
Yeah.
you can tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so I did quite a bit of research. Obviously, once the show, you know, I knew that I was doing the role, and so I went. I read the biography, the Ron Chernow biography, and you know, I found out a lot of, you know, him as a person, like what where he lacks, especially. I like to find out where like a character lacks and like try and play into that a bit. So I read a lot of his early life. So I got to a point in the book, maybe like midway through, I was like, oh, okay, it kind of deviates from the story a little bit here, and you know, we can only go on the version of history that we're performing each night. So, and it's very close, very, very close. There's only like minor differences. And so I went, okay, early life is what matters, and looked at like, you know, how he didn't really have a family growing up, and you know, he worked a lot, you know, basically from a young age he was just a workaholic. And I was like, okay, so this guy obviously has some relationship issues. So let's lean into that, and it, you know, it's prevalent in the show as well, you know. Come and see it and you'll find out. But yeah, that's his such a hustler. He will push through anything and anyone to get what he needs to get, and in doing so, like, tramples over some people that he really shouldn't have trampled over. But, yes.
yeah, I realized he was the least known, one of the least known founding fathers.
Yes.
You know, in America, and so this musical coming about is fantastic. You know, giving him that exposure. He was also a right-hand man of George Washington during the Revolutionary War, as well. So, you know, thanks to this musical, everyone knows Alexander Hamilton now.
We're
You know?
definitely learning more and more.
He's up there, he's like, finally!
He's out there thinking
Turning
that
in his
for
grave
you.
right now. Why do you think Hamilton has become as popular as it has? Because it's massive. It's a massive musical.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's as popular?
I think there's such a great combo of like the music. Firstly, it's multi-genred music, which so many people can relate to, but then also it's multifaceted humans on stage. So then there's so many facets of human being that lots of people are able to kind of connect with. So there's always something in one of the characters that someone can relate to, and put 2,000 people in a room, there's 2,000 facets that can be related to on that stage, which I think is pretty incredible.
Impressive, yeah.
Wow.
And of course, when Hamilton came about, it was all Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
I mean, he was absolutely
genius.
amazing. Have you guys met him?
Yeah, we have.
he's insane.
You probably met him more times than we have.
I've only met him officially I've only met him once or twice. He came to see, I was in the closing company of the Angelica tour, which is the first national North American tour. And we closed it in Puerto Rico, and he came out with like Leslie Odom was there, Chris Jackson was there, Renee, and Ariana DeBose. It was amazing.
Nice.
The most nerve-wracking show of my life.
No pressure.
Hated that.
When was that? That was like,
It was in Puerto Rico.
how long ago?
Mid-June.
I'm doing the interview now, clearly.
Why? It's 92.
Yeah, no, we met him in Brisbane for the first time.
Okay.
And then randomly during rehearsal in New York, he just like bopped in.
Oh, that
Which
was
was-
amazing.
that was amazing.
Actually, I need to go on about that. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
So we were there in rehearsals in New York, which firstly is
That was crazy,
dreams come true.
Yeah.
What the? So we had Auntie Blankenbuehler in there, and we were just like, oh my gosh, we're so lucky, we're so lucky. So obviously he choreographed the show, and so we haven't met him because of the pandemic. So this is the first time we get to work with this genius of a man, and we were just like, oh my gosh, what is this day? What is this day? And then he's like dropping inspirational bombs left, right, and center. We're like, whoa, this day's crazy. And then he just randomly was like, jokingly in my mind, said, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's here. We're like, oh my god. It was
And I was
so
like-
incredible.
Actually, yeah, he lives here. Like, he lives here. That makes sense.
It's on that like, don't mind me, kind of like chilling hoodie. And
It was the
hat.
comparison between like it took him forever to get to Australia because it
Yeah.
takes anyone forever to get to Australia.
Yeah.
So like it took him so long to get there. And then he watched the show and that was a crazy show. We can go on about that in a sec. But then for him to just drop into a rehearsal,
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
the juxtaposition. That was
New York, baby.
Okay, we're going to
Yeah.
go back on air, on the radio. Stand by. So,
Kiss 92 traffic.
Oh, okay. All right. Very quickly, taking a look at what's happening on the roads. On the KPE towards the TPE after the ECP entrance, avoid lane 4. A vehicle's broken down. Also on the KPE heading towards the ECP before the airport road entrance, avoid the right lane. An accident has occurred. If you have anything else, it's 88550920.
good morning, Singapore. Welcome back to the biggest and best breakfast show here in Singapore. Boy, are we big today. It's Glenn, Angel, Daphne, and the Flying Dutchman, and we have the cast of Hamilton, David Park, Jason Arrow, and Akina Edmonds with us.
Yeah, and we've just announced that Hamilton is coming to Singapore for the
Yes.
first time, April 19th. You can start getting waitlisted for those tickets at 10 a.m. at baseasia.com/HamiltonSG. So go sit in front of your computer. Don't worry about going to work. Just sit there and park yourself
Very
there
nice.
at 10 o'clock. That wait list will open.
So now, Jason, you play Alexander Hamilton.
Yes,
So
yes.
does Lin-Manuel Miranda. Any pressure?
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, we can talk about the time he came to Brisbane to see the show.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, he literally said, he was backstage, talking to everyone, yada, 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 and casually. And he walked past, I went to go and do my mic check, because it's part of what we do before we do the show. And he walked past me and he just tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, no pressure. And I was like, and at that point, weirdly enough, at that point, I think because we were like, oh, he's coming to Sydney, and it was during the pandemic, so he couldn't come. Then it was like, oh no, he's coming to Melbourne. Couldn't come. Had the Oscars, of course.
As you do.
And then
Crying
Brisbane
agents,
opening, couldn't come because something else. And then just randomly, he's definitely
Okay.
coming in the
Yeah.
middle of Brisbane. So at that point, there was a few times that he was coming. And then so we sort of like, it's like, oh, he's not going to come. That's fine. Like, it's all, we're very far away. We get it. So we kind of had our own version of the show at that point, like, our own stamp on it. And so it was sort of like a celebration of showing him what we had done and what people who had been in the show, who had left the show at that point, had also done, who couldn't be there to perform for him. So it kind of felt more like a show and tell as opposed to like a proving, because, I mean, at that point, it's been 2.5 years, my man. Like,
It's been a while. What took you so long?
No,
What were his comments?
he didn't really he loved it. He said he loved it, and he was quite emotional on stage, which was when he came up for bows at the end. But
Yeah, I think he had a whole speech ready to go, and then it just went out the window. 'Cause
Right.
He was
He doesn't seem like someone who will cramp anyone's style.
Yeah.
He probably is.
he's got a team to do that now that runs the show. You know,
Right.
Yeah, he's chilling.
chilling.
Yeah, it was a show of pride, really. We just felt proud to be able to share our version of his piece with him. It was very much a collaboration, it felt, as opposed to like, are we good?
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, when we say version, it's the exact same show. It's just obviously you have different people in the show. It comes across differently.
David, you play two characters.
play two
Tell us about
characters.
that.
So in the first act, I played Marquis De Lafayette, who was a central figure in the Revolutionary War. Fun fact about Lafayette, he is the foreign person with the most streets named after him in the United States of America.
Wow.
Because of how integral he was in the Revolutionary War, there are many, many Lafayette streets.
Lafayette Avenue.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Gallery Lafayette was named after him as well.
Yeah, right.
And then in Act 2, I play Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States of America. I went to Thomas Jefferson Elementary School, so
Oh,
it was
wow.
meant to be.
Wow.
History. Making, man. You knew it was,
Represent.
you're manifesting from then. Like, that's
But it's a lot of fun to play two parts.
Thomas Jefferson, one of the most, in fact, possibly the most famous founding father in America.
Right.
And the
You're
least
the one you know the most about.
and the least famous,
Right.
Alexander Hamilton.
And I did not know how much they did not get along until I watched the show. I remember watching the show, I was like, oh, shoot. Like,
and Madison as well.
They did not like each other. Yeah, and I was like, who's Madison? Great. Like,
That's why
yeah. It was
That
a lot
makes
of learning
sense,
for
though.
me.
Like, conflicting pride and just,
For sure.
egos and men that are in charge.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So speaking of the show and then your iteration of it, or I mean, it's the exact same show,
Yeah.
but there are different personalities being put
Yeah.
into each character. There is a version that's out on Disney Plus, right? Like, I think it's the original cast.
Yes.
And like, how is that? I know obviously that's very different live, but how would you like not convince, but explain how it is different? A live show is different from watching a recording of a live show. You know, besides
Wow.
just the energy
Yeah.
and the feeling.
Yeah. Well, I feel that live theatre, you get to choose where you look. You get to you get to choose how you take that in. So cameras already tell you where you're supposed to be looking,
Yeah.
and you are also given the shots of how close in you get to watch. So in live theatre, you get to zoom out and zoom in as you please, at wherever you please at any time, which is also the beauty and the danger, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
it's
'cause
like
anything.
anything
Yeah, like
can
anything
happen.
can happen.
So it's always going to be a thrilling show because anything can happen. And so, and that's the beauty in knowing that it's because it's so slick. There's always going to be versions of it. Just
It bubbles differently.
yeah,
moves
and
differently.
the audience is going to be different, and so the audience is essentially like our new scene partner every night.
Very much so. Yeah.
And you get to the biggest and best thing about live theatre is that you get to enjoy it in other people's essentially energy bubbles.
Yeah.
And then that has to make its own bubble of itself. And then you exchange that on stage and
Yeah.
as audience members.
Which you obviously can't do at home.
Yeah, you can't do it at home, and it's not just a screen. So you get to have real life humans in front of you sharing such magic.
All right,
That's my thing.
let's continue to talk to David, Jason, and Akina on The Big Show TV. It is 8:19.
Kiss 92 time check brought
Okay, so you mentioned this a couple of times,
Yes.
and anything can happen, and anything can happen.
Yeah.
Live theatre has a lot of strange traditions with what happens in the wings when
Right.
people are on stage.
Yeah.
Has anything ever happened?
FD is the stirrer of the group.
Honestly,
We love him.
I don't.
Yeah, we were kind of just talking about this.
Yeah. We don't really like have things like that. It's
You
weird. I
don't?
know. Yeah, it's weird. Like, when we did it in Australia, we had literally just learned the show, so we were like let's just do the show. Like,
Yeah.
let's just make the show happen. And by the time we got comfortable enough with it, obviously we'd moved on to do other things, and we're still learning each other at the moment. So nothing's really happening there either. I feel like that sort of thing happens when it's like been the same company,
for a long time.
Yeah.
Because obviously the OGs. I know they had some stories, but they had been, giving the show legs for years
Right.
before it
The
actually
public,
got to
all the reading.
So they had been a company for a long time.
How long have you guys been together then, performing?
International company has been together for like a month.
A month,
Just
wow.
over a
Oh
month.
wow, that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, 3 weeks of
Right.
rehearsals and then a month of shows.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
so heading
okay.
into our third month-ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 months.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you all like each other still, or?
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. Like that's not even just like.
Yeah, that's not
'Cause
even
we're
trying to
here.
be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, actually, yeah, the truth.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
How's Manila?
Manila's great. Yeah, we're really enjoying it. I had never been before. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys, but I'm really enjoying it.
They're showing us so much love. Like,
Oh.
it's
Tons of
really
love,
humbling
yeah.
and like moving, especially because Rachel Ngo, who plays Eliza there, is like just like the jewel of Manila, and
Yeah.
it's just an honor to like share the stage with someone that is admired so much by like an entire country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And
Yeah.
Stage Door's been progressively crazier each time we've gone outside. There's been like more people waiting, and I think maybe people have like figured out where the stage door is, or like I'm not sure how. But each time it just sort of like more and more people, and we're signing stuff, and like they're really lovely and like giving us little gifts, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's been really beautiful, and we've had a chance to explore around as well. So yeah, which we hope to do here as well in Singapore.
Oh,
So
So,
pretty.
we're
So
here.
pretty.
Yeah.
How long more are you in Manila for?
Till November 27.
And then you take a break,
Yes.
and then Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
In January, right? And then it's Singapore.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
You know the whole schedule.
I know where you guys will be next Christmas.
Please let me know.
New cast member Angel.
Abu Dhabi, that'll be really
That'll be
interesting.
fun.
Yeah.
fun.
That would
You
be
know?
fun. Yeah, I've never been to Abu Dhabi.
Neither.
so-
Neither.
I've been to Dubai, but not Abu Dhabi.
We will be in Dubai. Don't
It's right next to
drive
you.
Yeah,
to
it's an
Dubai.
hour away.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah.
similar.
Dubai is a lot more blingy, and then Abu Dhabi is a lot more toned down.
Right.
So, but you've got the best of both worlds. I
Yeah,
think.
we'll be driving up to
Yeah.
Dubai to have like weekend visits for,
For sure, yeah.
Well, our weekend, not
Just
the
like
actual.
Monday and Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Day.
Hospo weekend is what we call it in Australia. Hospitality weekend.
Yes.
Brilliant. When we're on the Big Show TV is when we ask hard questions, fun questions, random questions. And here's a random question for David, because you were on Madam Secretary, and I'm a huge fan of Madam Secretary.
Are you?
How many episodes were you on?
I was only on one episode.
You met Tia Leone?
Yes, I worked with her.
How is she?
She is
'Cause I'm a
so
big fan.
wonderfully nice, and she, she as like the lead of the show, she sets the tone like in a similar way that Jason sets the tone for us, and he shows up so consistently for us, and that's such a big benefit for the rest of us, because I feel like everyone that plays off the lead needs to know where they're at and how they're feeling, and it helps settle the rest of the company. And she was like cracking jokes and like helping set like keep it light when it needed to be, but keep it serious and keep it like on task when she needed to be. Like it was really watching, like, because Tia Leone has been working for years and years,
Yep.
so to watch a professional at work and just like kind of just be in the room, like that's what, when you're doing jobs like that where it's like we call it a co-star role, it's a couple of lines, it's like nothing major, but like it's enough to like get an experience on set, like that's worth more than the paycheck. So she's amazing.
Wow.
You can meet your hero sometimes. It's okay.
It is okay.
Same with Lynn. Like that's what we're talking about. Of like, you can meet Lynn and be like, oh, you're exactly who I thought you were gonna be. Like,
Yeah. No
nice
questions. Yeah.
and magnanimous and charming and like sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, you've done both TV and stage. How do you compare the two?
They're different, and I know that's like such a cop-out answer, but like theater, we've all been doing this show for years now, and the fact that we can still come back and hit the opening number and be like, okay, like I'm gonna tell a story like it's my first time, and I know as a human being that it's not, but there's someone out there that it is their first time, and honestly, like you can find a place to get to where it's like, yeah, I can tell this for the first time in some kind of way. TV, it's like you do TV and film, like, and you guys have experience with this too probably, but it's like you do a couple takes and you try your best to like do the work beforehand, but then it's out of your hands, and then someone else
someone else
stitches
sorts that
it
out
together,
for you,
cuts it together, and theater just feels like, you know, I'm doing this show for 3 hours, like I'm in these costumes, I'm sweating, I'm like, it feels more tactile, and that's honestly like that's the difference. That's why you have to come see the show, is because like, not because we're sweating in these costumes, but but that's like a byproduct of like, there are human beings that are doing this every night. Like that energy you can't recreate on film.
Okay, we're gonna go back on radio one last time, so we'll wrap up.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, so on the PIE towards the airport right after Lawney Road, look out for a broken down vehicle. And also on the KPE towards the ECP right before the airport road entrance, an accident has been spotted. If you have anything else, it's 88550920.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guests for this morning, David Park, Jason Arrow, and Akina Edmonds, cast from Hamilton. Woo! Okay, we've been speaking to them for the past, 25 minutes or so. We've got time for one last talk set right now. And, you know, I want to ask you guys, starting with Jason, who plays Alexander Hamilton, why should Singaporeans make their way to catch Hamilton?
Had to start with me on that one. Look, it's... Okay, obviously the show has been around for eight years now. And so it has made its stamp on the zeitgeist. I've always wanted to use that in general conversation. So it has made its stamp. It has made its stamp. You know, it's created its own cultural movement in a way. For me personally, I would want to see a show that has that kind of draw. You know, it has a draw to it, has an energy about it. It has a message. You know, it's especially, you know, for the younger generation, you can make change if you really want to make change. Like, you really can. I mean, these are people who fought a literal empire with nothing. You know, there's messages there about, you know, like you can make that change. So when we're talking about climate change, things like that, social change, you can. There's ways to do that. It has a rallying effect. Not to mention music as well. That's a given. You know, that's already again created a stamp on the world. And I honestly, without sounding, you know, nonsense about it, it does change people's perspective when they come and see the show. It's definitely changed my perspective doing the show. So I don't know what you guys think about it, but that's where my head's at.
I think the show itself is so rich. It's so rich in music. It's so rich in the characters and how they're portrayed and how they're written. They're not just two-dimensional humans again, and so we get to resonate with something of someone, and everyone in the room is going to. And it's a cool way to see everything on one stage, and really 3 hours is not long enough.
Hey, yeah.
You know, it's, you go, hang on, that was 3 hours. That was 3 hours. How does it feel like I still want to know more, want to find out a bit more? And because it's so dense, every time you go, there's always something new to learn. I'm still learning so much. Like, I had no idea about the American politics in general, let's be real. But, you know, so it's like, how crazy is it to be able to learn about something that you probably may not be interested in, and then be so interested in it, and then all of a sudden bopping along to... like America's founding fathers. That is incredible, and that's kudos to
that
the
blend blend of like history, which is something that is typically not that interesting, you know, to then blend it with this music style that is incredibly interesting, and it created, you know, entire movements have been based off that, you know, that music style, hip hop, you know. It's a very blend that you wouldn't expect. I mean, Lin caught a little bit of flack when he first came out with the thing, you know, being like, I got this idea, it's a hip hop musical. You know, people sort of like laughed at that idea. Who's laughing now?
Him to the band.
David.
Same question.
Yeah.
the answer.
He's like, please give me a new.
The American.
You had two chances. You know,
You know, it is a good show. I'll give you one. It is a good show for people that usually don't like musicals. Go, you know, the people that get dragged along with their girlfriends, so to speak. It's like they come out going, I don't even like musicals. I love this. It's like exactly. And those that do love musicals are like, this is my favorite one, and I'm a music theater nerd. So there's that.
My answer is whenever you come see the show, the reason why you should come is because whatever show you see will never happen again.
Yeah.
You will be one of however many people are in the audience, that saw that show on that Wednesday night, that Sunday afternoon. And that's the specialty. That's what's so special about live theater is it's the same material, but it will be different every day, I promise you.
especially this show too, man.
I
Like,
promise, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
David
you.
Park, Jason Arrow, and Akina Edmonds. Get on the wait list, all right? It's baseasia.com/Hamilton SG. Hamilton plays here in Singapore next April. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody will make their way to the photo wall. We'll take a quick picture, and then Nian Tjoe will come in, and we'll start to talk about EV cars.
True. I see you, bro.
He's commenting on your weight, on your weights, your dumbbells.
It's a little warm this morning, huh?
That's what
A lot of
David's
people
gonna
as well, I
say.
think.
It's just for the
I think it's a lot of people. That's why.
Y'all want to be in the photo?
Because it's hot news.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hot off the press. Hot.
And that was really good.
I read your mind.
Fun word.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Yeah, you nailed it.
Very nice. It's really so cool to have you guys on.
You know what?
My friend
I
actually
could do one of these.
and they worked on the music for the original.
No
And I'm friends with
way.
Anthony, who plays
Ramos.
Ron.
Yeah. Right. Oh wow.
Yeah, so he was just in
Small
town.
world.
That casual, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that. So it's like, I literally just found out yesterday.
Same today. Then.
Okay, we gotta do the Asian heart.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Cute.
Okay, one here. One, two, three. One, two, three. And one more here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Hey. Thank you so much. Thank you.
How long are you guys in town for?
Like right now?
For a long? Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
tomorrow, yeah, no, tomorrow.
Thank you,
Okay, so you won't have time.
No, we will when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah. We're done at 7.
Alright, let's go. Where do you want? What kind of scene you all looking for?
I don't know. We can figure that out though.
Okay.
How do you here?
Get you on Insta or something.
Thank you. What a treat.
You guys got all your stuff? Okay. What's happening? Are we following each other?
I'm gonna take him out for drinks tonight.
There you
Okay.
When they're done. Okay, that's me.
Thank you.
Then
All
I
right.
will follow
Yeah,
back.
go boss.
Just give us a moment. We'll get Nian Tjoe in.
Oh yeah. It was over. That's mine.
See ya.
See you guys.
Nian Tjoe?
Nian Tjoe will be in a
He's
moment.
here.
He's here. He'll be sitting there waiting.
They're reading his stuff.
Where's he?
I can take this.
Yeah,
mic
yeah,
back
okay.
now. Wow, that is kind of
We're still live on air.
We're live, we're live.
There we are.
Yeah. Good morning, Nian Tjoe. Come on in.
Morning.
Yo, bro.
So you need to follow up on that and sing a song now
Yeah.
from the musical Hamilton.
Never watched it.
Neither have we.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's my favorite. I've watched it many times.
Okay, sure.
How about you use it and I'll just take this back later. Because there's only 4. You're good. You're good.
All good, all good. What's happening?
He spilled his coffee again.
I really feel it's just water you're spilling. Okay, good morning. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
We're back, and we're going
And
to talk
Nian Tjoe's
about
here.
the world's fastest electronic vehicle that we cannot own in Singapore because it's only a left-hand drive.
Yeah, but this is slightly faster only than the
Well, we
BYD Seal.
No,
No, it's quite a lot
We can
faster.
own it, we just can't drive it. Right? Okay, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so how fast is this?
But what do
this
you mean we
car?
can own it but can't drive
It's a
it?
left-hand
It's
drive.
left-hand
Yeah, it
drive,
takes
so you
less than
can't
2
drive.
Wait, but we can bring
You
it
can if you
into
get-
Singapore?
Yeah, but you can't drive it.
You get a special license, you can drive.
You get a special license
Yeah.
you can drive.
Cannot.
Yes.
Cannot?
Cannot.
No, I've
So
seen
Not for this one.
No, but I've seen some. I remember back. I don't know. I haven't seen them recently where they have the left-hand drive sticker on the back. When are those allowed?
From what I know, those are diplomatic.
Diplomatic
plates.
only, okay,
Yeah, the
alright.
other one is the other extreme, which is really big engineering vehicles, cranes and stuff.
Okay, but
Oh,
other than
right.
that, recreationally, you cannot drive a left-hand drive.
One more, if you happen to have a car before the war.
Oh,
think it's-
that's
yeah.
a long time
Okay,
ago. Okay.
why is that? Is that a safety thing or what is that?
Well, historically, yes, that's
Yeah,
one part. The
it
other thing,
is
I think
safety.
safety is probably whether you're accustomed to it. Because if you've been to the UK, for example, they're
Yeah.
right-hand drive, but you have half of the European cars in there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
everything is made for right-hand drive
Yeah.
here. You know,
Yeah.
your
And the
blind
other one is in
spots and-
Japan as well.
Okay.
Oh,
You can
right.
actually
Japan
be-
has both, right?
Yes, and ages back when I was in Japan, I asked like why so, right? And the reason is quite funny to me, at least, is that because if on the left-hand side, you arrive at a red carpet, the driver steps out onto the red carpet. But everywhere else, if you drive the steering on the wrong side,
Yeah.
your passenger goes into traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's such a silly reason to have both sides, but okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking now about the Rimac Nevera.
Nevera.
Yes. So this is an interesting car. I think it's also an interesting piece of technology.
Okay.
Because here is a car that has four. I mean, we talk about electric cars quite a lot on this these mornings, right? But here's one that really has no practical purpose, if you think about it.
Okay.
I mean, in the most fundamental, how often do we talk about COEs here, right? Talk about affordability, getting from point to point, getting food delivered. This car is probably the worst way to do that.
Okay.
Explain.
Because number one, you can't be registered on the road because you only make it on as a left-hand drive. I would question which diplomat would register one of this
Yeah.
on the company's tab, on the country's tab. But in terms of, and it only sits two. It has
okay.
4 motors. It has 1,900 horsepower. For perspective, your typical family car has maybe between 120 to 200. So let's 6 times more. It's also ridiculously expensive. I couldn't get a local price for the car, but
Converted,
it's estimated
it's about
about 2 million
Euros, which is about 2.9 Sing.
No,
No?
because that's before taxes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is what,
It'll be close
300%?
to 5.
How much would it be? 300%, I think, if I'm not wrong.
I tried. The closest thing is to find out how much Rolls-Royce would cost in Europe. This car is about 4 times more.
4 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Rolls-Royce, after all the tax revision this year, I think we're looking at about 2 point something
So
to
you're
3.
saying this will be 8? Close
Give or
to 8.
take, yeah.
Whoa.
Millions.
I think this is more a race car than
So
anything,
I
if you
was
ask
right
me.
when
mean,
I said most expensive EV then.
It's
Yeah.
most
You were
expensive
also
anything.
correct, yeah.
You know, I watch Formula E.
Yeah.
And this comes across as,
Yes.
a car in that category.
No.
You know, where
No.
Faster.
No.
it's faster than
Than
a Formula
Formula
E
E.
So
car.
why wouldn't they? Oh, what, really?
So this is the other thing. I confess that I only understand a little bit about motorsports, but motorsports tend to be complying to rules.
Yes.
So in Formula E, it's actually just trying to get everybody on a relatively level playing field.
Yeah.
So they're actually not that fast. Slower than a road car.
got you.
But back to this is I think this car with what it represents is how much or how far we can go in terms of developing technologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is Rimac Automobili anyway? I'm looking at them right now.
Yes.
It sounds...
They are Croatian.
Yes.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's
Okay.
go back on the radio. So let's touch
Yeah.
on it again. Mayo, Let Me Love You right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We have with us our second guest for today. He is Nian Tjoe, senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times. And we're talking about something really interesting today, about a record-breaking car, the Rimac Nevera, which just hit 412 kph to become the world's fastest production electric car. Now, 412 kph, that is kilometers per hour.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
400.
400.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
0 to
planes are
100
slower.
in how many seconds? That's
Less
my
than 2.
question.
No,
Less
no
than 2
way.
seconds.
That's fast.
Crazy.
That's fast. And at a price of close to 8 million Singapore dollars. If
Okay.
we wanted to get it here.
Yes, that will be the guess.
But
The
you wouldn't
guessing
be able
price,
to drive
yes.
it because it's left-hand drive.
It's left-hand
Yeah,
drive,
couldn't-
and it's
you
2 million
But,
euros.
you know, I'm not very impressed with 412
How?
kilometers.
What? Out of an electric
What do you want
car?
to
As in
Fly?
you're saying, like, on maximum charge, it can go 412.
No, that's
No.
distance.
That's
this
distance.
Is speed.
This is speed.
412
Oh, I
kilometers
see.
per hour.
Yes,
Our-
okay.
Yo, how fast
Yeah.
do you want to go, Glenn?
No, he was thinking distance.
Yeah,
he was
he's
thinking
thinking
range.
distance.
Oh.
Because,
Oh.
you know,
Thinking range, yeah.
when we talk about electric cars, we talk about range.
Range,
How
yeah.
far it can go.
Yeah. So this thing has all that power. What is the range? Do we know?
I think it's, what is it?
It better be at least 500 kilometers.
I would
I have no
say
idea.
it should be for anyone to spend this kind of money. That range needs to
But
be
I
about
mean-
But
500.
it's the speed that you're paying
and
for.
I think this nobody cares about the range at the moment because this is purely a bragging rights car.
Yeah.
You know, no one's buying it to travel from
yeah, I suppose.
country to country
Yeah.
or take it grocery shopping or anything. It's just about
Whoa,
having it
can
in
you
your garage
imagine?
Yeah.
and saying that I have it. I was looking up a little bit about Rimac. I mean, I've never heard of the company. One of its parent organization is Bugatti Rimac.
Yes.
It's out of Croatia. The founder is only 35 years old.
Whoa.
Yes.
And the company's been around since 2009. I mean,
Wait, so that means
how is that possible?
So I can't say that I've met the founder.
Yeah.
I think
Mate
his name is
Rimac.
Mate Rimac.
Yeah, Mate Rimac.
But amazingly, this is one of those whiz that we need in terms of technology. Where I think the backstory was that he was a student that was trying to enter his old jalopy of a car for a race, and he decided that everything is kind of not going so well because the car is probably older than him, and he electrified it. He put motors in it. He
Oh,
developed
wow.
the tech. The amazing thing is, like Angels pointed out, this company is now part of Bugatti and part of the Volkswagen Group. So these are like some of the biggest automotive companies in the world. And just think of what they are bringing on board is all this brains, right?
yeah.
To just push this topic of electrification. I mean, off air, we're just talking about how, what's the relevance of something like this, right? I think
Yeah.
bragging rights, yes, but I see it from the other side, just that where we can take the technology and the runoff effect onto regular stuff that we can eventually get into, whether it's a bus or a car.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is probably just a piece of research that the bigger Volkswagen is
Wanna
the
make
bigger
use of.
company is going to use.
yeah.
For sure.
He
So-
was
Yeah.
only 21 years old when he founded his company.
Yeah, you do the math.
Crazy.
Right.
And where
But,
is
I mean,
Croatia?
for this car, do you think it's going to be allowed here in Singapore? Can someone here buy it, even if he just keeps it in his garage?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. You can.
You know,
You can't register it to drive on the roads.
Yep.
But you
Okay.
can keep it in your
so
driveway.
it absolutely cannot go on the roads if someone buys it here in
Absolutely,
Singapore.
legally cannot.
Yeah. Okay. And,
Absolutely.
and
And
I
then you-
agree with that. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Then you can take it to the track, right? I mean, you can fly it, you can ship it, you can do whatever, and take it to another country where it is allowed on tracks.
Yeah, so actually in Singapore, there are places where there are
They
special
store it.
storage
Yeah.
facilities.
The vaults.
Yeah, and then when you want to see your prized possession, you could wheel it out, hold some friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we gotta also think about the other benefits from my understanding with these warehousing facilities is that they tend to be also they have provisions where they are exempted from tax.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
They're like trade free.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
trade
like
free,
Freeport.
tax free.
Yeah,
Freeport.
Freeport is one of them. So when you keep your possessions there, you can move them around easier rather than having to settle all these tax matters.
This is where I keep my art and my cars as well. Same
right,
thing.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll let you guys in one day.
Okay, one day. That's
One day.
Just
you up
thinking
on
the
that.
brake horsepower for this one.
Nearly 2,000, 1,900 something.
Wow, that's insane.
Absolutely
Insane.
unbelievable.
Absolutely insane.
Okay, up next we've got Iman Fandi. This is something fresh. Baseball bat right here on Kiss 92.
The Big Show. Kiss 92.
When life sucks, make you feel so bad. Hit it right back like a baseball bat. Go whoop, TKO, smack. Hit it right back like